Hello, good morning, and welcome to another time on radio. It's a beautiful Monday morning. I am Olutayo Gwade, and I welcome you to the Papers Review on 32 FM 94.9. We are located on the fourth floor, Cocoa House, Tugbe, in Ibadan. You can also check us out on socials. We are live on Facebook this morning, 32 FM 949 Ibadan. We are also live on YouTube, 32 FM 949 Ibadan. So go straight to the papers, and of course I'll be starting from Daily Trust newspaper this morning. I can see food crisis looms as fertilizer price soars ahead rainy season. Uncertainty over Nigeria Air 3 weeks to take off. Another one here, Wazirin Katsina, 3 contestants emerge. The leaders Nigeria needs in 2023, Catholic bishops. The leaders Nigeria needs in 2023, Catholic bishop. Ukraine, federal government urged to provide psychological aid to returnees. Reopen Hajj to foreign programs. Let me take that. Operators excited as Saudi Arabia reopens Hajj to foreign programs. Some more from Daily Trust before we go to another paper. Sanusi, Nigerians manipulate religion to cover the truth. Oshibaja now in charge, says Buhari. Oshibaja now in charge, says Buhari. Otom declares interest in Senate medical checkup. Buhari finally departs for London. More from Daily Trust. Okay, let's see this one here. 2023 Pro Saraki Group woos Kano PDP. Away from Daily Trust, we go to Premium Times. And my first headline here, Nigeria witnessed fewer killings last week than any other week in 2022. Nigeria witnessed fewer killings last week than any other week in 2022. Oshibajo to be in charge while I'm away. Buhari, COVID-19 with 3 infections. Nigeria records lowest daily cases. After Kenyan trip, Buhari jets to London for health treatment. How Nigerians struggle to replace faulty transformers despite government regulations. PDP yet to release timetable for 2023 general elections. Some more from Premium Times. What Nigeria should do with its COVID-19 isolation centers. Virology Institute. 2 dead in Lagos about the expressway accident. APC National Convention will surprise critics. Buhari, PDP yet to release timetable for 2023 general elections. I took that. Let me take one more. Nigerian professor charged with election fraud raises preliminary objection. From Punch newspaper this morning, why we change phone numbers after election victories. Reps members, so that'll be nice to read or to know. Why we change phone numbers after election victories. Rep members, environmentalist charges Delta government to curb crude oil theft, pipeline vandalism. Hoodlums attack Enugu Catholic priest shoots leg. Ganduje inaugurates ward, local government escrows. World Bank projects 4 trillion naira 2022 fuel subsidy. Experts predict more loans. Arrested Randy husband seeks forgiveness for raping in-law for 3 years. 2023 APC leaders Kingsman urge Oshiomhole to contest Senate seat. APC chairman meet today. Uncertainties around zonal congresses. Community sets for showdown with husband as eyes, tongue of wife's corpse missing. Over to the Guardian newspaper. States face bankruptcy over 3 trillion naira subsidy debts. States face bankruptcy over 3 trillion naira subsidy debts. More from the Guardian. 2023, many aspirants should have been in jail. Obasanjo. Saudi Arabia lifts travel ban on Nigeria. 16 orders. Federal government to tackle brain drain in health sector. Mamura. More from the Guardian. 5G to create deals for digitally inclined Nigerians. Firms. TUC ex-leader urges sit-at-home protest over fuel scarcity. New national carrier may take off Q2 as bid opens this week. Community worries over compensation on houses marked for Lotto interchange bridge. Bayosa ready for business spiritually, physically, says Diri. Fear over nationwide strike in robbery, kidnapping, fear over nationwide spike in robbery, kidnapping. Lawan Mark or Debbie eulogize Obasanjo on 85th birthday.
FM 94.9.
Every kid is amazing at something.
Give them amazing day.
Amazing day, instant cereal.
Give them amazing day.
Same calcium as a glass of milk.
For healthy bones and teeth.
Excellent source of protein.
For daily growth and strength.
Calcium, protein, vitamin A, dietary fiber.
Golden Penny Amazing Day Instant Cereal. Feed that amazing.
Hello, Chooks. Biko, wetara new laptop, 2 boxes, rechargeable fan, 3. One.
Your call credit has been exhausted.
Yeah, Ebuka. Biko, load 1,000 naira INT'L for this phone now. Ebuka, I send you 1,000 naira. You go load 8,000 naira. Be this boy in Apuara there.
Oga, no. As you make plenty call. Now why use Ovajara load the card?
Bam! Get 8 times your recharge plus double data on Ovajara. You also get 1,000 naira bonus on every new SIM activation. Dial star 311 hash from an existing SIM to opt in.
Oh yeah, take. Go buy food for Mama Cheap place. Make she add Ovajara.
INT'L, the smartphone network.
Iya boli auntie, iya boli eto, iya boli tèmi nìkan ṣoṣo. Asa mi pa. Wetin you want? Abeg, when you go market, I really need more Maggi chicken. Maggi chicken gangan ni o. What tún ni Maggi chicken gangan? Na the real Maggi chicken. Maggi elediye. If you no sabi the difference, make I tell you. Dem write Maggi chicken flavor seasoning on top the pack. Maggi chicken flavor, e dey give food ogbonge taste, color and aroma wey go totori you. O ṣá mọ̀ pé ní tèmi dùn. O ṣé, ìyá Risi of life. Yes, ke. When asking for seasoning, ask for the real Maggi chicken flavor. Maggi chicken flavor gangan ní kẹ́ bèrè fún. Pẹ̀lú Maggi, ẹ ṣe oúnjẹ tó dá yàtọ̀.
Mom will come and put on the radio set. Don't worry, I'll tell Mommy.
Let me put on my radio set now.
Mommy, please, we want to listen to the Smart Kids show. It comes up Monday to Friday, 7:15 to 7:45 a.m. So we can prepare our minds for school work.
Okay, Smart Kids show. I love it too.
Thank you, Mommy.
Oh yes, 7:15 a.m. to 7:45 a.m. is the time. Mondays through Fridays. Join Auntie Yellow on the Smart Kids show.
Oh, I wanna build a train.
I'm living the life because I get Tizeti. Yes, sir.
Nigeria's most affordable internet service provider, Tizeti Network Limited, is now live in Ibadan. Oh yes, Ibadan residents can now enjoy our truly unlimited internet service too. Tizeti prides itself on providing the lowest cost of unlimited internet access to residential and small business customers. You can now browse, stream, and game 24/7 at an amazing speed, and with an uncapped data plan, connect to Tizeti's fast unlimited internet service for just 12,500 naira only per month. Simply pay 59,500 for installation and enjoy a 1-month subscription for the residential plan. What more? Visit wifi.com.ng/OYO to sign up or call 090-8749-3040, 090-8749-3040, or send email to internet@wifi.com.ng to get started now. Unlimited internet or Yolowa.
Every kid is amazing at something.
Give them amazing day.
Amazing day, instant cereal.
Give them amazing day.
Same calcium as a glass of milk.
For healthy bones and teeth.
Excellent source of protein.
For daily growth and strength.
Calcium, protein, vitamin A, dietary fiber.
Golden Penny Amazing Day Instant Cereal. Feed that amazing.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back from the commercial break. 32 FM 94.9. Beautiful Monday morning it is. I am Olutayo Ogunade, and the station is, of course, once again, 32 FM 94.9. Check us out on Facebook, 32 FM 949. Ibadan. Go drop your comments there and your question for my analyst. Professor Lord Jerukun joins me on the program today for some analysis. Good morning to you, Prof.
Well, top of the day to you.
Great. So let's start off from here. After Kenyan trip, Buhari jets to London for health treatment. And of course, he said the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, and two others are in charge.
Well, the president could say that, but he has to transmit. There's a letter that he has to transmit. I think it's covered by Section 145. I stand to be corrected. And so there's a procedure for that to happen. He writes to the National Assembly. He indicates he's not going to be around. And then on that basis, Osinbajo becomes the acting president. Other than that, it's just really routine. And anybody could usurp that role, informally. So I'm not sure that the president has transmitted a letter. I'm not sure he's followed the legal steps yet. But it waits to be seen. He may well have done that. We're not aware of that. But I think it's a welcome development for him to indicate that the vice president is in charge. For over 2 years, you would note that they've stopped putting the vice president in charge. And many a times when the president's not around, there's an opaque sort of thing going on as to who really is running the show. Nigeria needs leadership at this time. The president, if he needs medical, we can't stop him from going for medical either in Abuja or anywhere in the world. But the government must run. There are issues to be dealt with. There are issues to be resolved.
All right. Since his assumption of office as a democratically elected president in 2015, Mr. Buhari has been going to London for medical treatment over an ailment that remains unknown to Nigerians. And of course, he has said from time to time that he will discourage medical tourism. But it seems Mr. President will have to do this until the end of his tenure.
Yes, he indicated when he was campaigning for office strongly that that was one of the things that he was going to get rid of and going to ensure comes to a halt. But it seems as if it was just a mere campaign sloganeering, because ever since it's come, it's intensified. I'm not saying it's his fault, but the intensity of the medical treatment and medical, some might say, excursion has actually increased. So one would raise the question as to whether there's any chance of it ending with Buhari, even when Buhari leaves the office. I think it's not been discouraged. I think it's been encouraged. We are not saying that the president cannot fall ill, but we are saying that we have excellent medical doctors, excellent facilities here. We should develop them. We should invest in it. Secondly, it is this secrecy surrounding what actually is wrong with Mr. President. Once or twice, there's given an indication. When Her Majesty, the Queen of the United Kingdom, Northern Ireland, and the realms, when she's ill, when she's suffering any ailment, the palace, Buckingham Palace, is quite transparent. If Buckingham Palace can be transparent, a monarchy, why can't a democracy be transparent?
All right. Just before we move away from this particular story, by saying Osinbajo is in charge, does that mean he has the full power? Can he hire and fire while the president is away? Can he award contract and do other things that a sitting president can?
Only if the appropriate letter has been transmitted to the National Assembly. If that letter has not been transmitted, then, it's subject to interpretation, subject to questions, and subject to doubt. So, yes, if that letter has been transmitted and as acting president, he can do everything the president is entitled to do.
Now, the country director, World Bank, says Nigeria's decision to postpone the full deregulation of the downstream sector of the petroleum industry by 18 months may cost the country over 4 trillion naira in subsidy payments on petrol in 2022.
Yes, I've always said that the whole idea of subsidy, whilst it's a bad idea, the economic inferno that is brewing or that will brew and boil over if we remove it will be completely unacceptable. And I've suggested that we need to find a way to raise taxes, not taxes on the common man. The common man will skin me alive. But taxes, particularly road transport, luxury cars, and that sort of thing, so that we can meet some of this expenditure. We need an alternative way to meet this subsidy. Yes, even if we are going to keep it in place, We must replace the amount we spend. We're spending too much on it. 4 trillion is quite an enormous amount of money in the midst of and in the face of enormous challenges we are facing. Let's find a tax that works, a tax that can actually reduce the burden on the state. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be borrowing, and it's going to be your children, it's going to be my grandchildren, and I don't think that's what we want for Nigeria. And apart from that, it's not making the economy very, competitive.
Now, why can't we celebrate whenever there's rise in global oil price? We'd like to know, there's, of course, the global oil price is going up, but Nigeria cannot jubilate. It seems it's not helping us much. Can you really explain that to us? The dynamics or the
Yes,
technicality involved in that?
Well, it's the old question of the subsidy, isn't it? Every time the price of oil goes up, we are paying more. Remember that it goes abroad for refinement. There's a landing cost associated with it. We are paying more for refinement. We are paying more for the product that comes back into Nigeria. So if we were refining, if the cost of refining and landing was $10, if it increases in price, that also goes up. And so the solution is really to get rid of the subsidy, find a tax complement to replace it, and then we'll begin to enjoy, from that point of view, as it were. Enjoyment not being the word. There will be relief from that point of view. So the key thing is the fact that we're importing the fuel, you understand, a refined product. That is why. When we import, we don't import in Naira, we import in dollars. And because we import in dollars, what happens out there affects us. If it was a Naira thing, then of course we'll be insulated to a certain extent, not a full extent.
Well, it's really disheartening. You look at it mathematically anyway. But what has the Minister of Petroleum said on this?
Well, I'm not aware that he said much. They've said the only thing that they've alluded to, they keep on alluding to the Dangote refinery. They keep on alluding to the crisis that is going on in Ukraine. But in terms of any clarity as to when, you understand, we'll begin to benefit, from this largesse, the largesse that comes from the increased price, there's no indication at all. Nobody talks to us clearly. Remember that the Minister of Petroleum is indeed the President and the Commander-in-Chief, and he has a Minister of State. And I think I've always thought it's a bad idea. I think that we should have a substantive minister who can take decisions and doesn't need to wait for the president.
Oh, well, just me, if I can just remind you, Mr. President is actually the substantive minister.
Yes, he is indeed. That's why I said, and that's why we need we need somebody who is not Mr. President. Otherwise, the Minister of State, Cyprian Silva, continues to wait on President, for far-reaching decisions and announcements that need to be made.
Okay, a full minister, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, why we change phone numbers after election victories, reps, members? You have this from Punch newspaper. Some members of the House of Representatives have pinpointed economic meltdown as a reason for obvious gaps between lawmakers and their people, adding that solving personal issues of constituents is not part of the reason why they were elected.
Well, I think that's rather unfortunate. I think they are elected to solve all our problems, to represent all our problems to government. They may not be able to solve it. Yes, that's correct. But they certainly are there to represent, to listen, to empathize, and to be there for us. They can't become ghosts when they become elected. We didn't elect them to become ghost characters where they disappear from the scene. So I think that's unfortunate. I think there's a touch of arrogance there. I think he could have said that very empathetically. When you become a millionaire instantly when you're elected, I think it's unfair for you to say that you do not get elected to solve your problems. So you get elected to do what? To solve your own personal problems and not the problems of the people around. Of course you can't solve all their problems, but you can listen, you can represent their problems, and you can be there for them.
What is the primary assignment of a lawmaker?
To represent their constituencies in the National Assembly, to make laws for good governance of the country, to hold to account the executive, and to ensure that all the appointments made either into the judiciary and so on are also scrutinized, and also mainly the appropriation, passing appropriation bills, for expenditure and such like. And so in the middle of that, of course, as I've said before, is to represent the interests, the will, and of course, the desires of the people of this country.
Could it also mean taking care of their hospital bills, paying for their children's school fees, and all that?
Well, not necessarily so, but the members of the House of Reps and Senate have got themselves into a pickle. And why do I say that? They keep on getting humongous amounts for constituency allowances. They keep on donating computers, donating bicycles, and donating sewing machines and other personal items. So when you get constituency allowance, which really should be a function of the executive, and you're donating left, right, and center, and people find bicycles in your home and motorcycles, so what do you expect the people to think? The people then think, by extension, that of course, when it comes to hospital bills and other bills, you are supposed to be there for them. Apart from that, we even heard of some of them wanting to use that money, you understand, to supplement NHIS and so on and so forth. So it's not the people that are to blame. It is really the members of the National Assembly who have conflated their responsibilities with all these constituency projects and allowances and so on. So until there's clarity on that, the people will continue to expect more from them, including financing transport bills and even refreshments and so on.
Now, let's look at this story here from Premium Times. How Nigerians struggle to replace faulty transformers despite government regulations. One would wonder, is this not, the function or the responsibility of the distribution companies?
Well, it should be. The reality of it is that in terms of investment, there's a lack of investment, and most of these distribution companies simply haven't got the finances to do it. It shouldn't then fall on the people. You understand? Because when they took this over, they took it on as a business. Unfortunately, they took on a lot of debt from the old power holding company. And it's reflecting from the money people pay, from the tariffs you pay, those are the amounts that should be used to replace equipment. Having said that, Mr. Tayo, you must also admit that many of our unscrupulous people actually strip these transformers bare and use them, for all kinds of nefarious activities again and again and again. So you see, there's a balance to be found, but it's certainly the responsibility of the distribution company. And if they must charge extra tariffs because it's been vandalized, you understand, by the people around, then that's another matter entirely.
Also, primarily, who repairs faulty transformers here?
No, it should be the distribution company. How they get the money and how they go about it is another matter entirely. But it certainly shouldn't be the responsibility of the tariff payers, because first and foremost, the power holding company have the equipment, they have the connections, and that's the way it should be done. They may find ways, as I've said before, to raise it, but it is their responsibility, even if they're going to increase tariffs of some sort. I know most people will balk at that, but it shouldn't be the responsibility of people naturally.
And who protects the rights of the consumers here?
Well, that's where the minister comes in, and that's where the regulatory body, I think there's a regulatory body that covers it. That's where they should come in, so that they actually examine, they observe, and of course, where the distribution companies are going overboard, they should be able to intervene. So that's the responsibility of the minister.
All right, when we get back from this commercial break, we'll look at this story. Buhari government lied. Strike continues until they have money for us. ASU.
Every day is another chance.
Get the best of starts on the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9.
Ìyábọ̀lì àǹtí, ìyábọ̀lì ètò, ìyábọ̀lì tèmi nìkan ṣoṣo. Pásá mi pa. Wetin you want? Abeg, when you go market, I really need more Maggi chicken. Maggi chicken gangan ni o.
Ewo tún ni Maggi chicken gangan?
Na the real Maggi chicken, Maggi ẹlẹ́dìyẹ. If you no sabi the difference, make I tell you. Dem write Maggi chicken flavour seasoning on top the bag. Maggi chicken flavour, e dey give food ogbonge taste, colour and aroma wey go totori you. O ṣá mọ̀ pé ní tèmi dùn.
O ṣé, ìyárísí of life.
Yes, ke. When asking for seasoning, ask for the real Maggi chicken flavour. Maggi chicken flavour gangan ní kẹ́ béèrè fún. Pẹ̀lú Maggi, ẹ ṣe oúnjẹ tó dá yàtọ̀.
It's a new day, a new beginning. As you prepare for the day ahead, just anything is not enough for a delightful, healthy start. Start your day right with Whole on your ear. Creamy vitamins and nutrients. Life is so different with you.
Hollandia Eva milk, right nutrients for a healthy breakfast.
Angels Market ìròyìn ayọ̀rẹ́ fún gbogbo ará agbègbè Aṣí Bódìjà Àkóbọ̀ Ìdí Àpẹ́ títí dé Ìwó Road pàápàá jùlọ Báṣọ̀run pé ilé ìtajà Angels Market nìkan lẹ́tí lè rí Indomie noodles golden spaghetti òróró king pẹ̀lú ẹ̀dínwó jọjọ sí iye tẹ́ ẹ rà á lágbèni gbogbo ẹ̀yin alára tútà pátápátá nínú ọjà ńláńlá aláràjẹ àti olókoòwò kéékèèké ẹ má wulẹ̀ ṣòpò láti máa dààmú kiri mọ́ ẹ wá kó ọjà yín ní ọ̀pọ̀ kú ọ̀yọ̀kú nílé ìtajà Angels Market kẹ́ ẹ sì ṣòwò kẹ́ ẹ jèrè gbogbo ohun tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ ló wà lọ́dọ̀ wọn lápòlápò tàbí ní páálí. ẹ gbọ́ o gbogbo ohun tí ẹ bá rà ní Angels Market lówó ẹ̀ ò ga jara lọ. ilé ìtajà Angels Market wà ní àdójúkọ Islamic High School Báṣọ̀run Ìbàdàn ẹ̀rọ ọ̀báraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ni 08033283574 lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 08033283574 Angels Market gbogbo ohun tí ẹ fẹ́ ló wà lọ́dọ̀ wọn lẹ́dínwó.
Have you heard? There's a seasoning for every meal, yeah. On the seasoning is full of flavor, yeah. Delicious, tasty, yeah. Mama's happy, no. My hunger, rich flavor, aroma, delicious, yeah. Mama's happy, the fresh cookie, yeah. Great flavor,
Hunger, Mama's helping hand.
Every kid is amazing at something. Give them amazing day. Amazing day instant cereal. Give them amazing day. Same calcium as a glass of milk. For healthy bones and teeth. Excellent source of protein. For daily growth and strength. Calcium, protein, vitamin A, dietary fiber.
Golden Penny Amazing Day Instant Cereal. Feed their amazing.
Hello, Chooks. Because wetara new laptop 2 boxes, rechargeable fan 3.
Your call credit has been exhausted.
Yeah, Ebuka. Because load 1,000 naira INT'L for this phone now. Ebuka, I send you 1,000 naira. You go load 8,000 naira. Be this boy in Apuara there.
Oga no, as you make plenty call. Now why use Ovajara load the card?
Bam! Get 8 times your recharge plus double data on Ovajara. You also get 1,000 naira bonus on every new SIM activation. Dial star 311 hash from an existing SIM to opt in.
Oh yeah, go buy food for Mama Chi place. Make she add Ovajara.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Ìyábọ̀lì àǹtí ìyábọ̀lì ètò ìyábọ̀lì tèmi nìkan ṣoṣo. Pásá mi pa. Wetin you want? Abeg, when you go market, I really need more Maggi chicken. Maggi chicken gangan ni o. Èwo tún ni Maggi chicken gangan? Na the real Maggi chicken. Maggi ẹlẹ́dìyẹ. If you no sabi the difference, make I tell you. Dem write Maggi chicken flavour seasoning on top the bag. Maggi chicken flavour, e dey give food ogbonge taste, colour and aroma wey go totori you. O ṣá mọ̀ pé ní tèmi dùn. O ṣé ìyárísí of life. Yes, ke. When asking for seasoning, ask for the real Maggi chicken flavour. Maggi chicken flavour gangan ní kẹ́ bèrè fún. Pẹ̀lú Maggi, ẹ ṣe oúnjẹ tó dá yàtọ̀.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back from the commercial break. 32 FM 94.9. It's 7 o'clock from our studio here. I open the phone lines in a bit. 0009 7000 949 0705 500949. Professor Lord Jadoko is right here with me on the program. We are doing some analysis. Before we took that break, I read a particular headline. Buhari government lied. Strike continues until they have money for us. Some stakeholders have condemned the remark by the federal government that it has no money to meet the demands of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. Recall that the Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, had claimed that the government lacked the money to meet some of the demands of ASU. Are you there, Prof?
Yes, I'm there. I think we have to be fair to the government. I mean, do you see the amount of money being spent, humongous amounts being spent on constituency allowances, on salaries for the members of the National Assembly? Do you see the donation that we made to Afghanistan? And a lot of the inflated contracts there and there. So the cupboard is bare. So you have to be fair to them that exactly there's no money. And there's no money because we've misspent it and because our priorities are wrong. Rather than prioritizing education, You understand? We prioritize other things. So, of course, it is true that there's no money. But ASU's position is quite clear. You made an agreement with us in 2019. Sorry, not 2019, that was during Jonathan's administration. I hasten to remember the year, pardon me. And you are obliged as a government, to carry out the agreements that have previously been made. And I would side with ASU, but I will ask ASU to find a way so that this government is given more time to implement it. But implement the must, because it's a contractual agreement. It's either ASU renegotiates and says, okay, we are no longer going to insist. But if ASU insists, then the federal government has to find the money from somewhere. If they can find the money for the members of the National Assembly, constituency allowances, for donations abroad, and so on and so forth, they should be able to find the money for education for the academia. That's my view. That's my position. And I'm sure many people would agree with that.
Well, I don't know. You just touched on something that is making many Nigerians to belly ache at the moment. The gesture of Mr. President to Afghanistan, $1 million. That's a lot of money. With all that is ravaging our country at the moment.
Of course, that's a lot of money, and many will say, or many will suggest, I say, misplacement of priorities. And that is why ASU are not assuaged in any sort of way. That's why ASU will continue and wants to continue, because they see the government spending money where they shouldn't be. So I don't know what informed that decision, and I don't know what the reasoning is behind that decision. But somebody needs to explain it to us. Maybe there's something that I have not got wrong. I may have got something wrong. We are not in government, so we see things from a limited perspective. But whoever is there has to explain it. And until they convince Nigerians that it was money worthwhile, spent worthwhile, people like ASU, organizations like ASU will continue to strike. Unfortunately, that the green grass, it is the grass that suffers when two elephants fight. So my sympathy, of course, continues to go to the students, and there must be a way around it so that ASU gets what it wants, the government too saves its face, and our students are spared another lengthy period of strike.
And when we refuse to pay attention to that which should form the bedrock of development of our country, what do you say to that?
Well, then we will continue to be backward. Look at Singapore, look at Malaysia, look at South Korea, look at Hong Kong. These are countries, nations that were on the same level with Nigeria in the 60s. They leapfrogged because they invested over a period of time in education. Education was priority. We have not made education priority, and therefore we are going to reap where we've sowed. So if we decide not to continue to invest in education, we'll continue to be backward. It's as simple as that.
All right, let's take comments from our people. Just stay on the line, Prof. 009 7000 9490 705 500949. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, couldn't hear me. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, who's on the line? All right, John, go on.
Professor Jedo, thank you this morning. Unfortunately, the same minister, Labour, just on the signed that document, and he himself agreed. The same person that has come out to say they don't have money. Something is wrong somewhere. And that is what man says, that the ability of Nigeria to rule this country. Anyway, that's not where I'm going to this month. It is no offense, and there should be no problem about anyone taking heed. We are all human and therefore vulnerable to the frailties that the environment, culture, age, the pressure of duty, and even hereditary impose on us. Therefore, the president can travel to anywhere for medical attention. I'm not against it. But more transmit power to the VP in line with the provision of the Constitution and not mere pronouncement, so that the VP can perform presidential duties. And let me remind Nigeria this morning that one of the reasons why Major General Muhammad Buhari took over early 1984 from the Second Republic is President Alhaji Shagari, that was on January 1, 1984, was because our health services were in shambles. According to them, our hospital remained a mere consulting clinic without water, drugs, and equipment. However, while campaigning in early 2015, General Buhari promised to stop medical tourism. He has breached that promise. I'm John Njoku.
Thank you, John Njoku, for that. Timothy Okorie on YouTube. Good morning, Tayo. I expect Oshibajo to perform creditably well like he did the other time. Buhari handed over power to him. This will bring him to limelight again and better the lot of the country. Thank you, Timothy. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Your name, please.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Good morning.
This is Ovelele.
All right.
Doctor, what is wrong with Afghanistan that you are contributing to? Please enlighten me. And concerning this house, can they sacrifice, let's say, a year constituency allowance to settle ASU? Because the constituency allowance, are they really losing the money? Can they sacrifice it? Let's say a year. We are not asking them to stop it. A year. And let them pay let them settle the ASU for once and for all. Have a nice day.
Thank you for your contribution. Prof, are you there?
Yes, I am there.
Well, it wants to know what or why President Buhari donated to Afghanistan.
Yes. Well, you know that Afghanistan is in a bit of a pickle, in a bit of a mess. Infrastructure has more or less been, devastated. War has crippled them. But Nigeria is in a worse situation, I would say, because we have a war going on here, low intensity, we may say, low intensity war, and we have war going on with our electricity, war going on with fuel, war going on with the salaries and so on and so forth. And I think we should be the priority. Cannot be any reasonable justification. It's not a projection of our power. It's not enhancement of international relations. There's no strategic objective in donating to Afghanistan. Right. No. If it was even within Africa, might have suggested maybe there was a far-reaching strategic objective.
Okay, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
John Olaiwaju from Ajo. Money given to Afghanistan, a wasting of money. First and foremost, Afghanistan, the people that are inside the power there, they are terrorists. Why are you giving money to the terrorists?
Is that not a sweeping statement?
I want to ask. Because you all know that these people that are in charge of the power, they are terrorists. And the president is giving money to them. And our education is...
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Adesi from UI.
Okay.
I want to urge ASU to continue their strike. Because we know this government can afford whatever they want. It's because of the reason is that we know the kind of person we have as president, we know his level of education, so he cannot value things like this. On giving money to Afghanistan, you also know the kind of person that president is. Those are things that he likes. Or the bottom line is that sometimes when I see Buhari and I see Yar'Adua, sometimes I still believe that it's not outsiders that are bad. So I think a lot of this will have meaning to you. But the bottom line is that before we vote again in the next election, let's fetch the religious background of individuals so that we cannot make this kind of mistake again. Let's have the best of today.
All right, ASU believes that, when it comes to their own case, or education largely in the country, then the federal government begins to dilly-dally and drum up sentiments and telling Nigerians there is no money to attend to their own demands. And this is not really fair. So, of course, they said they will extend or go on with a strike until their demands are met by the federal government. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, Kings Longuka is my name.
All right.
I support ASU to remain on strike till their demands are met, till all their demands are met by the government. But ASU strike should, the demands of ASU should be holistic and not only about money for ASU. The strike by ASU should be more about compelling the government to do everything that can improve the quality of education in this country, and not only about money for ASU. Thank you.
Thank you, Kingsley. Let's take this one from this gentleman here. Okay, well, General Balkis, that sounds like a lady. At this point in time, it does not appear proper for our leaders, particularly the president, to go outside the country for medical reasons. He left Nigeria in a state of disarray. Okay, let me see. With our federal hospitals in critical condition, perhaps there should be a law barring our elected officials from seeking medical treatment abroad. If this is the case, they will consider improving our hospitals. May God guide our leaders right. Thank you, Balkis. We'll go to your message on the issue of electricity. What exactly is wrong with their system? I've said it on this platform that you cannot do the same thing the same way and expect a different result. Omobasha Rabiola, we got your message 0809 7000 949 0705 5000 949 to join the conversation. Hello, Prof.
Yes, I'm with you. Yes.
Yeah, I have this.
And I heard that.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was just going to take this particular one here. We won't collect money from candidates in 2023, or Aneze declares.
Well, I think that's a welcome development. I mean, this collection of money, you understand, for nomination forms has become a racket. The amounts have excluded legitimate and very, very reasonable candidates from contesting. But I know that, it's not unreasonable to ask you to pay a token when you're contesting elections or indeed applying for some sort of role. But I think that's a welcome development. But is Ananize a political party? I don't know that they're a political party. So I don't know on what basis anyway they'll be collecting anything for contesting elections.
This sounds indicted anyway. So you mean you've been collecting money, from the past or something, or in the past?
Today I'm calling respect.
No.
Oladako. A lot of no credit is overdue. Please, can you help us to get a source of friends?
That means in the past, this social cultural organization has been collecting money. That's a cesspool of corruption if that's what's been going on. You don't need money to be able to endorse anybody. Yes, of course, yes, it is indicting if indeed they've been doing it in the past.
Hello, good morning.
What they are telling us is that some people have been giving them money to vote for them because they are not a political party. I don't know how they will come out now and tell us they are not going. They will collect money from candidates, and this is how far we have gone. Have a nice day.
009 7000 949 0705 5000 949. I can take one more call or two before I go on the program today. Destination time is 7:15. Okay, so that one from Aneze, but let me go back to, excuse me, Prof. Hello, Prof.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, a caller just also, corroborated your position on Aneze, but I don't know.
Yes. No. Obviously, they've got the whole idea of Aneze wrong. It's social culturalized to project the influence and the relevance of the southeastern people, particularly of the Igbo people. That's what they're there for. They're not there to be collecting money from anybody. In fact, I would say on what basis they're collecting money is quite questionable. So whoever made that statement, I want to believe made a mistake, and really that's not what their job is. This monetarization of politics must stop. Influence must not be peddled because money has been received.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I guess that was a stray number. 009 7000 949. There's a particular story. I don't know if you've been monitoring this too, Prof, before we go on the program. The BRT abduction.
Yes. It's all over the social media. They claim to identify the driver. They claim to identify the bus. So I think BRT, if it's true, all those identifications should fish out the person involved. And we should locate this lady who they claim is from Ekiti or so, indigene. But it's quite rather unfortunate. But I'm glad that the information is in the public domain and it can be pursued. But does it mean that BRT buses are not safe? I'm not saying they are not, but it raises the question.
We're praying for a safe return of
Yes,
the lady.
absolutely.
Bamished as her name. Thank you, Prof, for sharing your morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear listener. Also, the program will be back tomorrow. Up next is Smart Case Show with INT'L. I am Olutayo Ogunade. Good morning.
Here is
the station admired by other radio stations.
Yes, we are.
32 FM 94.9.